Welcome back to FreightWaves Now. This carrier update. Donny, gonna start here by looking at what's going on. We mentioned it. Capacity's got to leave the market in this instance. I'll have a chart a little later that kind of highlights this in the research corner, but this one does a good job explaining that it is happening. It's just maybe not as fast as it needs to be to firm up the market.
So when COVID was in full swing and we had a big increase in demand for trucks, we had carrier authorities being opened up anywhere between 1,000 and almost 2,000 a week.
Yeah, for
now we're
a 2-year stretch.
For a 2-year stretch. Now we're looking at 1 year here. We're looking at these little average lines. This is first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. As you can see, it's going up a little bit, but this up, we're in the negative. So it's actually less.
Slowing, yeah.
Slowing. So we're right around that 360, 370, 400 mark. And even this quarter right here, where you see it kind of drop some, but it's only at 461. So we're averaging, let's just say between 350 and 450 so far this year, carrier authorities, which could be more than one truck, leaving the markets. Well, if you look at what happened on the inbound or intro over 2 years, at this rate, it's going to take about 6 years to get back to even.
Yeah.
Something's got to give. And that's where I believe when we start to come up in this first quarter, looking at what's happening with high diesel fuel prices, higher interest rates, a lot of drivers got payroll increases this year, so even that went up. It's a lot more to operate your trucks right now, and rates are bottoming, hitting record lows.
Yeah.
So this will speed up.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to see it in this. You've seen 2 sizable drops so far this quarter, right? One in the beginning of October and one, it seems like the beginning of the month is when you see it. And I think that just has to do with the timing of closing down a month and starting a new one. They just basically close their doors at the end of the month. But I mean, you look at it, I mean, this most recent week, 755 net exits from the market. It's not even close to the lowest we've seen this year, right? I mean, I'll take the holiday out because we're going to see a dip like this, and it's going to sound bad, but you almost hope it's larger than this one this year because it almost needs to be.
And some of this, though, could be maybe the authority goes inactive when their insurance stops.
Yeah. Which
could be the end of the month.
Yeah.
It could be the end of the year. So that might be why we're seeing these big dips. But regardless, they're going out of business.
Yeah, and it finally is. And again, it almost hurts to say it because at the end of the day, it's people's livelihoods that are affected by this. But by having too much capacity, it doesn't just affect it affects everybody in the industry, right? So like you have to see this balance come back more into play. The issue is it never really comes balance, right? We overcorrect in both directions.
You have a lot of owner-operators that are canceling their authority, and they're trying to sign on with these big companies as owner-operators.
Yeah.
And that's still continuing to happen a little bit right now, but that will also come to a stop.
Well, yeah.
Because these big companies can't sign on too many because they normally treat their owner-operators a little bit better sometimes than their company trucks. They have some priorities that they may get over company drivers, but if those company drivers, if the more you sign on, those company drivers get less and less average miles per week, or they're not getting the long hauls or the 800-mile runs because they're giving them to the owner-operators. They're getting the city loads, the local deliveries, and the 200-mile runs and 300-mile runs. They'll start to quit.
Yeah.
Now, to a degree, they may let some of that slide, but at some point, they need to keep some drivers. They don't want too many trucks against the fence.
Absolutely. Well, Donny, thank you so much for this update. We'll be sure to check in with you again a little later. Right now, we'll hand it back over to Kaylee and Anthony.